Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. In today's video, we're going to be doing some pre-planning and some planning for the year 2024. So if that is of interest to you, then please keep watching. I recently got an email from Dash Planner, which is a digital planner company. And basically the owner sent out what is called a pre-planner, and it says a guide to preparing for the new year. And so I thought, I have never done anything like that. I've never filled out a pre-planner or anything, but I could see how doing it now, especially since we are about a week and a half, maybe about 2 weeks away from, about a week and a half away from the end of the month and the end of the year. I could see how maybe doing such a thing might be helpful at this point, as opposed to not trying to scramble, so to speak, to kind of come up with to reflect and come up with goals and all of that, but where there might be a little bit of pressure if I do wait closer to the end of the year. So I thought that we might do this together. I don't really know what this planner entails. Honestly, I see that it is a number of pages. That might be a thing. So we're gonna go ahead and do some pre-planning together. Okay, so I'm sharing the screen and we're gonna swipe to the first page, which says hello 2024 and some other information. I don't think that we're going to read that. We're just going to skip right ahead to the 2024 reflection. So what we have here is, it says, for you, 2023 might have been a great year, or maybe it was pretty tough. Either way, there's likely tons of positive moments that are easily overlooked. Give these victories and happy moments the light they deserve below. So let's reflect. My proudest moment of 2023. My proudest moment of 2023. If it's not me joining a gym and getting really active, and it's not celebrating an anniversary, a dating anniversary and a wedding anniversary with my husband, and it's not anything related to my job or anything like that, then I would think, when I say if it's not those things, I'm meaning that I just notice some of those things, but they're not standing out to me as my proudest moment. So I would have to say that my proudest moment of 2023, I would say, I also read a lot of books in 2023. So far I've read 20, which is pretty impressive for me. I would say my proudest moment is, I don't know if this is a proud moment necessarily. It's not like, I don't know that there was any moment where I really felt proud, but as I reflect on 2023, which this is quite difficult, I would say that what I'm proudest about that took place in 2023 would hands down be that I feel like I have, with the help of other people, challenged my thinking. You know, this year I set out to be less judgmental and less critical because I do feel like that's me in a lot of different ways. Most people probably wouldn't agree, because just because I don't judge a person based on their religion or sexuality or X, Y, and Z doesn't mean that there's no judgment that lives within me. And so I want to be judgment free and criticism free, critic free. So for which case I would say challenging my judgment. I always get tripped up on judgment and critical thinking or ways. That's what I would say. Okay, we don't need a period, I guess. That's what I would say is my proudest moment. Some additional highlights and big wins from 2023. Big wins, taking care of, joining a gym and taking care of my body and health. Celebrating, or experiencing rather, anniversaries with my husband. Those were some pretty cool moments. I also think this year more than ever, we hosted a lot because we bought this house right before COVID. I'm talking like a month before COVID was supposed to have touched US soil. And so we never got to host like we thought that we would. Now that, since we were going to be in a bigger place, a home and not an apartment on the second floor, we thought we might be hosting more, and we were not able to do that with COVID. But since then, I feel like we have been able to, and this year we went crazy. And so I think creating community and building our village. This is so interesting because I quite literally don't think I would ever sit and do this otherwise. I don't know. So this is actually very difficult for me. A happy memory experience with family and friends. One was the joint birthday party that we had for my mother-in-law. Talking and writing is actually very difficult. So I feel like I'm trying to speak better than I'm writing, and I can only really put my energy into one or the other, I feel like, in this moment. So I'm choosing to try to speak using proper grammar and being understood rather than writing. But here's the catch. We threw a joint birthday party for my mother-in-law and my aunt, whose birthdays are a few days apart. And then they, in addition to our cousin and a family friend, turned around and threw a joint birthday party for me and my husband. And we have birthdays that are a few days apart as well. So it was really cool to have. I haven't had a birthday party since I was a child. I did go to a dinner. I've celebrated with my friends. So if you want to call that a birthday party, then you can. But really it's it's very much a party, I guess. I just think birthday parties are gatherings that take place at home as an adult, at home or something. These are kind of birthday dinner parties. So I guess disregard what I just said. I think those qualify as a birthday party. But I certainly have never celebrated with friends and family with my husband. We have never had any kind of joint birthday celebration with other people. We celebrate together with just us, but we don't bring in a bunch of people and stuff like that. So that was cool. So joint birthday party times two. Okay, I would say those are probably our happiest memories with friends and family members. And then I would say all other functions that we held here at our home. New routines, habits, or hobbies I'd like to continue into the new year. Definitely reading. If I read 20 books in 2023, I would like to do the same thing in 2024. Definitely my gym classes. We joined a gym and I take a bunch of different classes. I also want to take hosting or just prioritizing spending time with family and friends in 2024. So I definitely want to do that. And my new organization system, I also want to take with me into 2024 because I just started it in Q4 of 2023. So we're going to do new organization system. I think that was something that was really helpful. So I would say those are probably what I want to take into 2024. In 2023, I learned, I'm not even going to see monthly reflections from the first planner that I had and then the second one, but I'm just going to think here right now the things that kind of stood out to me. One thing I was thinking about yesterday, I was having a talk with my husband and we were just talking about we're always talking about all kinds of different things. And I was asking him, I was like, do you remember the last time that I've cried? Because if I cry, it's probably going to be with my husband, meaning that he's probably going to be there. I guess because I'm not a person who cries a lot, and so I don't cry alone. I don't know. I can't really give you any real reason as to why that is, but I never truly cry alone. I truly only cry like as a result of something that maybe happened to a person and maybe I'm with them and it's sad and so I'm crying with them or for them or because of that. Or somebody says something to me that's really sweet and so I'm bursting into tears because of that. But I don't cry alone. I don't ever do that. So I was talking to my husband and I was like, do you remember the last time that I cried? And he told me the time. And I was like, well, when was that? And do you know that was last November? And I haven't cried since last November. So with that being said, that's something that I recently learned. I've never really been a crier, but that was really interesting to me. So I learned I don't cry much. I don't know. I never really paid attention to the only reason why we were able to figure out that is because that was a huge moment and it very much stood out. But otherwise, I haven't cried at all this year. It's kind of crazy. I don't cry often. What else did I learn? That was kind of like a huge thing, I think, that I learned that was kind of shocking to me. Not that I expected me to cry a bunch of times this year, because again, I just have never really truly been a crier, but that was just something that I was like, wow, that's kind of insane. One thing that I also really learned a lot about is vulnerability and shame. Vulnerability and emotional granularity, I think is the word, and shame. And that's by way of reading some of Brene Brown's books. So I learned a lot about that. And then I also learned a lot about like health stuff, like glucose and when's the best time to consume glucose and all kind of stuff. I don't know. I read this book and I was like, dang, that's insane. I've never been taught that. And so that was pretty huge. Of course, I obviously learned a bunch of lessons as I just shared and share each month. But those are the ones that are really standing out to me. And that's it. Whoo, girl. That took me 20 minutes. You don't know this because I'm probably, no, I lied. That took 10 minutes. No, it took, there's two different times on my screen. One's counting down until this stops recording in 4K, and then because it only does it for 30 minutes. One is counting up, if you will. And so I've been recording for 20 minutes. So that in real time took me 20 minutes just to answer 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 questions. I just want you to know that. Okay, this is free too if you go to subscribe to the Dash Planners newsletter, to the freebies, which I'll have linked down below. So you can get this and do this yourself, but that was rough. Okay, moving on. I should have probably maybe done some pre-work, but here we are. Give yourself the opportunity to reflect on the things that didn't exactly go according to plan. This way, you can use what you've learned from these experiences and make any adjustments needed for the year ahead. A hardship I faced in 2023, I'm not gonna cap. I would say that I just looked at that and I've gotten sick 3 times, and then I had back pain 1 month, and then I had my mental health wasn't too great for a couple of those months. But this year I've gotten sick at least 3 times, and that to me is insane because I'm not a person who gets sick often. So just being down for the count for days and days, weeks on end even, was very annoying and probably my biggest hardship because it was just a shocker. Though challenging, I am proud that I made it through. Oh, what I made it through. I would say that month when I was struggling was that August. Honestly, I'm glad I made it through each month. Is that corny? But I'm being honest, because some of those months were looking a little, based on my lows that I documented, were looking a little struggle-ish. A regret I have is, I would say if I could have gone back, I would have been more financially. A regret I have is being less financially responsible than previously, easily. I don't know that, I can't say that we did not have a good time, and we kind of called this year our chaotic pre-baby year. And so I can't say that I didn't have a good time, but I can say now that the end of the year is here, I'm just sitting looking, I'm like, where did our money go, bro? Anyway, I still feel frustrated about being sick. And I'm not talking about just being sick with, I guess I had the beginning of the year I had a viral infection. I was down for a week with that. I remember because I called my doctor and I was sharing the symptoms and such, trying to see if she wanted me to come in or if she was going to prescribe me something over the phone or what have you. And she said it sounded viral and that I wasn't going to get anything for it and that I might as well just ride it out. So that's what I did. I think I even had a fever, maybe. So not only that though, but also when I'm talking about sickness, I'm also talking about, I remember injuring my back a time or two, and just all of that was just doing too much. I'm just being honest. Something that didn't happen and I'm okay letting go of. Meeting financial goals. Because we set a bunch of goals to meet and did not meet them by any means. And then that's it. I love that for us. Okay, let's keep going. Ooh, are we going to rate our life? There are different facets of life and seasons where you may thrive in some areas while taking attention away from others. Below is a scorecard for checking in with how you feel at this moment. Select the score that reflects how you currently rate yourself in the area of life. Don't overthink or overanalyze. Just go with your gut feeling. Okay, 1 is an area of struggle that needs attention. 10 is an area of success and confidence. Okay, so for my emotional and mental health for the year, 1 is struggle bus, 10 is on point. Emotional and mental, I would probably say maybe overall a 7. Does that sound good? I'm asking y'all like y'all know. I feel like that's appropriate. It wasn't on point by any means, but it also wasn't too bad. I would say probably anything under 5 would be bad. There was a month, I think, that I probably would have given my rating below a 5. But if that's just 1 month, maybe 2 actually. I know August was a wreck. Maybe March was too. If only 2 out of the 12 months, I feel like then it would be fair to give myself a 7. My life area with the highest score is, I believe this is my strongest area because I prioritize self-care, because a lot of my prioritize self-care because I really feel like, and I have good boundaries. I really feel like, I say this all the time, no one on this earth is charged with tending to my needs and wants. So no one's going to force me to drink my 40 ounces multiple times. Ow, I just bit my lip. Multiple times per day. No one's going to inquire about if I'm drinking water regularly. I mean, I have friends over. You know, I have people who might be asking like, girl, you better drink your water or whatever. But that's really just when I'm with them kind of thing. It's not so much, they're not checking on me to make sure I'm drinking my water any other time. So no one's doing that. No one's ensuring that I go work out and to the gym and stuff like that. So it's just up to me to tend to my needs. And so I feel like a lot of my hobbies and recreational activities are very much me taking care of myself. And I do consider them to be self-care, like planning. I feel so much better going into a week when I have a plan rather than going in all disheveled and discombobulated. And I feel like that can cause me to be anxious or stressed or overwhelmed. So I feel like I'm taking care of myself by planning, which I was sharing that as a tip the other day on Instagram in an interview kind of thing. And I was just sharing that planning to me, while sometimes it can feel like a chore, I always try to shift my thinking about it, my outlook on it, and change it to me planning because it's a form of self-care. So I think I did really good with that. My life area with the lowest score. Girl, I'm gonna be honest with you. I wasn't even gonna be really worried about what these scores were. So the fact that I have to go look, and this one is pretty clear. Is it business career? Yep. I believe this is my weakest area because I have not prioritized. I like that word, do I not? Have not prioritized, prioritize elevating. I've just been chilling. And which is fine. I can chill and still get a decent salary and still get my job done. But I feel like there are goals that I have, and each month after month after month, I just continue to procrastinate on them. Not because I'm not at liberty to, because as an example, when it comes to my clinical exam, I have an authorization to test until like April or something. So I truly can procrastinate with those things, and it's not that deep. But it's kind of like, what are you doing, girl? Okay. All right. Next up. Life balance activities. You should now have an idea of how you feel about the different aspects of your life. Use the spaces below to brainstorm about the things you can do that help fulfill these various areas. This is a great list to reference throughout the year when you find yourself struggling in a particular area and in need of a boost. I read that and this is a great list to use the spaces below to brainstorm about the things you can do to help fulfill these various areas. Emotional and mental health. I think those are some of the things that I can do. Spirituality. I think praying, obviously, is something. Attending church is something. Watching sermons, which is kind of like attending church. Reading up on, I like reading books about people who are also religious and learning from them and just taking little nuggets from them. So those are things that I can do. Also, I can do a bunch of things too, like meditating. I feel like I can conquer the world whenever I can shut out everything and everyone, and I can really listen and hear and just lock in and tap into who I need to be tapping into, and even sometimes what I need to be tapping into. Because sometimes I feel like a part of spirituality, for me at least, is also listening to my gut because I feel like that's my cue, signal, or what have you from God or who is my higher power, it's my signal for me to know if I need to move forward, if something's a good idea, if I need to pivot, so on and so forth. So things like that. Also, business and career. I could write down a million things, but these are just kind of a few of the things that are popping up in my head. Learning and education. Those are things that I can do. Also, we have, I thought it was 3 columns. I was about to say, that's going to be it for me. Physical health. And you know what's crazy? If I go for another 20 minutes, this thing will be an hour long. Physical health and wellness. Gym classes. Those are some things. Scheduling my friend dates has been helpful. I don't really schedule, well, I kind of schedule family dates, but really only if it's out of town. Like I planned our first ever cousins trip this year. So, and I think we're about to do another like mini version of it. So I need to reach out to them. Planning family gatherings, hosting things here at the home, and then finances, things that I can do that will help fulfill these. I think like budget meetings with my spouse are really helpful. And then for hobbies and recreation, I think that, again, it's kind of like my my physical health, and I guess it's kind of a reiteration. So planning my week, taking personal days. That's something that I would like to continue to do. And so that's that. All right, whew. Now it's time to get more specific about what you would like the next year to look like. Use the spaces below to list out what projects, vacations, or experiences you would like to have. Don't worry about the pesky details. Just get your true desires out of your mind and onto the page. Feel free to use these spaces to dream big without limits. Something I did last year that I'd like to do again. So something I did in 2023 that I would like to do again. Definitely lose weight. So I'd say I probably lost 20 pounds and can we see? Well, this will be off because I have not weighed myself in some days, and so this won't be and it's not the end of the month yet, so it won't be end of the year too, so it won't be a true accurate depiction of how much weight that I have lost. But if I go to look at my graph and I look at where I was, let's look at the year. Duh. It says, even though I weighed myself when I weighed myself on the 17th of January. So who really knows what I was starting out at? But it says so far I've lost 22.3 pounds. So 20 pounds. I would like to lose another 20 pounds. That would be cool. Something I'd like to do to my home, girl. So many different things. One major thing is I want to upgrade my breakfast nook, which is kind of like a little dining area. You know, that's kind of what a breakfast is. It is technically like a nook, but it's not a cranny. It's not a small little baby area. You know, that's not what it is. It's a place where at least 6 people could dine. So, but it's technically like a breakfast nook. But anywho, I want to upgrade that by selling everything that I have now and getting something new. I do want to do other things to my home, but that's probably the first project where I want to start. And if I do nothing else, nope. That is something that I want to do, but more importantly, get a new fence installed. Something new I'd like to learn. Pickleball. I went to one training session, class, if you will. I do think I want to do more of it. So maybe we'll put pickleball. I think there are a lot of things I would like to learn, but we'll start with pickleball. What else do we have here? Someone I'd like to spend time with. One of my friends. Place I'd like to visit. Can you guess what I'm gonna put? Is that where I really want to go there? And like if I went somewhere in 2020, you know, I'm gonna have to do it. It's my favorite place in all the land, which is Miami. A project I'd like to start, the breakfast nook. A new hobby I'd like to try is legitimately pickleball. So we'll put that over here. Well, let's go back. Let's do this before we go back. A new habit I'd like to start. I truly, in my heart of hearts, I would like to wake up a little earlier. maybe 20 minutes earlier, because I'm going to be starting this gratitude journal that you're supposed to do a little bit of in the morning and some in the afternoon and in the evening rather, or at night. And I just feel like a sure way for me to be able to do that and to be able to do the other things that I do enjoy doing in the morning would be to get up 20 minutes early. It just, when it comes down to it, I like to sleep more than I like to get up and do my stuff. So I do go into each day kind of a little bit disheveled, but it could be changed if I would wake up early. So waking up 20 minutes early, which is 20 minutes before I have to be to work. So then something new I'd like to learn more about investing, because I think that I am going to be taking over with doing a lot of our investing, if we do a whole bunch, like depending on what we are going to do in 2024. So I think I would like to learn to kind of take over that. I'll explain more about that when we talk about our 2024 goals. I am losing sunlight and I don't know how to feel about this. I'm truly traumatized. Now that you've identified what you want more of in your life, let's make some room by doing less of what you, let's make some room by doing less of what we don't want anymore. These prompts below, use these prompts below to stop doing and brainstorming about what you can do instead. Remember, these are not failures. They are ways you gathered useful information. Something that wasted my time and energy. Doing the most when it comes to some of the functions that we held, I felt like so maybe over preparing, something that caused me distress. I would say the same thing. And being sick, that caused me distress. Something I didn't accomplish in 2023, financial goals. There's that. A habit I'd like to break. Ooh, I don't want to say I'm never going to break this, but I have a bad habit of nail biting. I finished up this and I just wanted to share it with you in the event that you were interested in doing something of the sort. So I went ahead and put in some important dates. I pretty much just on this page put birthdays, anniversaries, and events. And then I put in some home overview types of things like home projects, monthly maintenance, things like that. And I made this more so focused on family and household. And then this one was professional overview. So I put in when school ends for me, when it ends for my husband, when basketball season starts, football season starts, because my husband's a coach, all that kind of stuff. For personal overview, I pretty much just put in any appointments that are scheduled and then ones that when I'm anticipating going. So as an example, if my husband goes for his dental exam, 6-month cleaning rather, on January the 15th, which is when it's scheduled for, then just me knowing that he goes every 6 months would tell me that his next appointment would probably have to be in July. And then for this page, I'm supposed to write in 24 things that I would like to do in 24. Make no mistake, I do think I could come up with 24, but I would have to break them down and, into smaller bite-sized goals, like save $500 in January, save $500 in February, that type of thing, if I really wanted to try to get to 24. So I think it's a cute idea and all, but going to 24 is kind of crazy. So I just put down some of the things that I really am thinking and considering actually doing and having to come to fruition in 2024. So just some brainstorming, nothing set in stone. Again, I do find that this was actually helpful rather than trying to sit down, I don't know, at the top of January and trying to figure out, what do I want to do next year? Not to say that there's anything wrong with that. It's just that the planner in me would like to have a general idea of what I'm trying to accomplish and do and all of that before diving into the year. So even when we meet with our financial advisor, typically that's in December to prep for what we want our contributions and deductions to look like in January. So some stuff does really require a little bit of pre-planning, if you will. So I was excited to have completed this. So this is my pre-planner all filled out, which I'm going to keep adding to this until the end of the year. I just want to put that out there. And then yeah, I'm just gonna keep adding to it as things pop up. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like, subscribe if you're new and if you're liking what you're seeing, and I will catch you guys right back here in a few days in a brand new video. Bye guys.